I think everyone is born with a natural curiosity about themselves and about their world. In fact, students come to us full of questions. Unfortunately, we've done quite a good job in our educational system of extinguishing that curiosity and turning science into something that's boring and abstract and not connected to the real world. But studies have consistently shown us that by the 8th grade, most students no longer like science and wish not to take it. We need to take advantage of the natural curiosity of students and to focus on the beauty and the intrigue of the natural world. That's what integrated science is all about. Look, here is a huge protozoan that just moved. It's going to come back up on this stalk. We have here the lens of the eye, which is stuck just to the back of the cornea. I'm going to move the lens. There we go. Often kills its prey by constricting it, which you can see how it's doing my hand here. I want to show you one more time this movement of these charges through the air. Isn't that neat? Good morning. Welcome again to Integrated Science. Today we have a special.
There is an exciting new initiative in science education that has drawn attention across the country. The University of Alabama has unveiled an educational program with an ambitious goal: to reform the way we teach and learn science in America. During the 1991 academic year, over 100 teachers from 85 schools are teaching the integrated science approach to some 10,000 seventh graders. They take their lead from Dr. Larry Rainey, a former high school science teacher and director of the Integrated Science Project.
There have been a number of suggestions as to how we might reform science education. They all seem to have in common that every student should take science every year, that they should take a kind of science that shows the relationship between and among the various sciences. We should de-emphasize vocabulary in rote memorization of drills. The textbooks should become much less of a focus, and we should focus on hands-on activities, real-world examples, and exercises that show the students how science relates to them in their lives. I want to come back to the leaves and talk about a variety of different kinds of venation here in a moment, but I want to go first to this heart, because I think you're really going to enjoy taking a look at that. Here we go. Now, of course, you see here a heart that's been exposed, and we're going to go here and watch it move. Here we go. Isn't that neat? One of the examples in nature of parallel lines you will find in heart muscle. In fact, you find lines.
The philosophy of teaching science by integrating the disciplines emerged as a national recommendation based on extensive study by the American Academy for the Advancement of Science, the National Science Foundation, and the National Science Teachers Association.
The model that we're using has several elements. First, there's the broadcast portion. During this part of the curriculum, we introduce a topic or a concept or a principle of science. Now, today what I want to do is to talk a bit about electricity in the home. Electricity in the home. And what I want to do is to just take a little time and to just talk with you about certain aspects of electricity in your home, some things that you should look for, some safety tips, and just a little bit of information about what is this thing called electricity.
The key. Ooh, the key conducts very well.
Then, following the broadcast, the local teacher and her students do a hands-on activity or exercise that gives them some real-world experience with that scientific concept or principle. And then there's a homework portion that follows up in which the students look around their home or in their neighborhood and in their lives and see how this principle relates to them and to their family, perhaps.
Besides teaching the lesson, the video program brings out the sleuth in all the students with mystery puzzles and magic. Evaluation of the program is solicited daily by computer and audio conferencing, and teacher recommendations have led to many adjustments in the program and curriculum.
These particular fish, sharks, can detect electric currents. If you look right on the nose of this shark, you can see some little...
Escape egg case.
Many veteran teachers in this pilot project have adapted well to this new way of teaching. For 12 years, Sarah Yoder has been teaching 7th grade science at Jones Middle School in the rural town of Demopolis, Alabama.
They are learning to use the scientific method. They're learning to form a hypothesis. They're learning to see if their hypothesis worked, why it didn't work, and what they can do to change it. And those are thoughts that never entered my life science students' heads.
Aha. So if you're using a screwdriver or pliers when you're working with electricals,
It's different to do the experiments than just to think what would happen in your mind. It's more fun to see what really happens.
I see 3 people who were listening really well. What do you think, Sarah?
In Tuscaloosa, Alabama, the 7th grade middle school chose several teachers to be part of the integrated science pilot. Students who love the integrated science approach range from the academically gifted to those in special education classes.
The multiple ways that Larry presents the concept, that is the thing that I cannot do in my classroom every day. I don't have access to all the wonderful things that we see on that video.
Today's lesson, we're going to focus on magnetism. We're going to look at a force known as magnetism. Now, the main idea is that every permanent magnet has a north and a south pole. See, I can move that piece of metal around on the table without actually touching it. And we're going to sprinkle some iron filings on here to show the magnetic fields or the force lines between the north and south pole. Now notice, in the middle here,
Today we did magnets. They saw Dr. Rainey with the bar magnet and with the circular magnets. They were excited because they knew there was one at the end of their table, and when they got through watching that video, they were going to get to use it. They love it, it's fun.
I've even noticed like some of the people who aren't really involved in class, in science class they're a lot more involved than they used to be.
McIntyre Junior High in Montgomery, Alabama is an inner-city school where teachers are challenged daily to educate the at-risk student. The main idea today in Brenda Sasser's class is the life of stars with a guest integrated science instructor, physics professor J.M. Wersinger.
During the year, I call and check on a lot of my students to inform the parent of their progress here at school, and the parents are taking part in the homework portion of the program too. So they're taking the change home with them, and they're looking forward to being in the program next year. And for myself, I don't think I could go back and teach the old way. In other words, you're saying it starts to be in at the surface of the water?
Christina is getting straight A's in class and enjoying science for the first time.
Before, I hated science. I could not. I just hated going home doing vocabulary words and stuff. But now, I love it. I probably grew up to be a scientist.
About 1,200 students in the Montgomery public school system are taking integrated science. The science supervisor for those instructors is Johnny Jefferson.
A positive attitude towards science, and that attitude includes the willingness to get into the classroom and actually work and be prepared, because the program requires that teachers be prepared each day, and it also requires a lot of interacting with the students. So they're going to have a positive attitude and energy.
Be careful. Yeah, that's good stuff. Oh, wait a minute.
the teacher now assumes a different kind of role. What we're doing is providing the classroom and the teacher with certain resources that they didn't have before. But the teacher is still in charge of his or her classroom. They make curricular decisions and they interact with their students. What we are able to do is to provide a group experience where you talk not only with us but with other teachers and share your problems and successes and suggestions and joys and crises and learn and experience together.
The sharing of those joys and crises is accomplished with the help of a sophisticated electronic mail system. Teachers constantly communicate with each other and the curriculum team at the university. Dr. Jennings Bryant is one of the country's foremost researchers in the art of using technology to train and instruct.
The combination of media being used together is very critical. You've got a lot of field production, you've got very good displays and demonstrations in the studio production. You have the use of interactive video disc technologies, all sorts of extras, the computer bulletin board that's being used. All of this is really a convergence of technologies in a very exciting way to teach.
Over 90% of adults in the United States can be described as scientifically illiterate, a stunning statistic. These students can change that, and integrated science can help. Together with support from private industry, public television, and state departments of education, and with the strong foundation provided by the University of Alabama, the Integrated Science Project is off to an impressive start. Of course, the benefactor of all this is the student in that integrated science classroom, students like Tanisha.
When I grow up, I want to be a professor in science, and I feel that maybe I could be one if I try hard enough. And hopefully we'll still have a program like Integrated Science 7 when I grow up.
For additional information about integrated science, contact the University of Alabama or CERSI, a national distance learning provider.